Welcome back. I'm Kaitlyn Parker with Unspoken Obligations, where we are diving into a journey of what the hell are we talking about? So, unspoken obligations, as we've covered in the previous episode, are things that are morally or societally expectations that we must follow in order to live together happily, cohesively. But is it really what we want on the inside? Is it really, truly who we are in our hearts? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So the journey I want to take you on in this episode is my journey. So we're going to talk about my childhood. We're going to talk about all the way to parenthood and where I am today. I grew up with a loving family. I grew up with a corporate America mother and a garden center farming owning father. I have a brother who has cerebral palsy, which has been hard for me to say out loud. Again, unspoken obligation, peel that layer back. But having a brother that had some challenges also built me character too. So I also have another brother that was kind of the black sheep of the family. He was from another marriage. And so I've had a lot of different diversity in my childhood. I also grew up with the maternal line being super, super strong, and then the gentleman in the family being a little bit more quiet. All of them wonderful things. All of the things that seem normal and typical. And I would say, for the most part, I was very, very blessed. I was able to have such a diverse perspective on life. By having all of these different moving parts and all of these different beautiful people. However, everybody's got their own opinion on how the life that we live should be lived. Each and every one of them, in their own way, influenced me and still does to this day. I can't say such and such a thing to my mother because she'll be upset. I can't speak this way to my father because he won't appreciate it. Or my brother will get this and this and this if I behave in this way. So what does that do? That helps me mold who I am. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing all the time, but I am saying that if it doesn't align with who I truly am, then that's a bad thing. It's taken me a very long time to be able to even look inside and see that I'm unhappy. I bet some of you are unhappy too. But what does that mean? I didn't have a bad childhood. I wasn't beaten. I wasn't impoverished. I wasn't any of that stuff. But am I living the true life that I should or could be living? Is my past influencing me still to this day? Hell yeah, it is. All of us, it is. No matter whether you grew up in an inner city, whether you grew up in the country, whether you are on the left or the right of the political scale, it doesn't matter. Everybody around us influences each other. As it said, we're the sum of the 5 people that we spend the most time with. For most of us, that's our families. And I know they only want the best. I'm sure there's families out there who are malicious and mean and hurtful on purpose. But I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the average human wanting to be good for the other humans around them. There is no negative intent. However, we get sucked up in the bullshit that is everybody else's life and everybody else's existence. At what point do we pause and look inside? Is this really how I believe? How I think? And how do we get to that deeper self? Well, I believe that it is the outside, the little things that trigger to say, maybe this isn't really what I want. For example, growing up in school, maybe I would not love being in gym class. Maybe that's just not for me. If I was forced to be in a sport, even though I didn't love it, where's the line in that? Is that okay? Or is there an unspoken obligation that you have to do what is societally acceptable? Maybe I need to run a little bit more and lose more weight. Why? It's not okay to be the chunky kid unless it's a health thing. We have this fine balance. I would much rather be in art class. I remember going through high school, and when I graduated, I told my art teacher that I was going to business school. Do you know what he said to me? There goes another one lost. What the hell? So it's either an unspoken obligation from the art teacher that's telling me that, man, you could have such a potential here, or it's an unspoken obligation from myself and the family to be in business school because that's a proper thing to do. But what do I really want? Did I even know back then? Man, to even fathom what my life would be like if I actually followed the artistic path? I don't know. But is it the fear of the unknown that keeps us doing the safe things? The safe thing is to go to business school. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do when I graduated high school, but I knew that my father and my uncle decided to close the family business after 90 years. I decided, for some odd reason, whether it's unspoken obligations or truly in my heart, didn't know at the time that I would be the one out of all the siblings and all the generations to take on the family legacy. Looking back, I realized I wanted to spend more time with my father. Is that an unspoken obligation, or is that truly what my heart wanted? I think it's truly what my heart wanted. Now, moving forward, what is the next truth? Is it because of all of the muddiedness that's all around me that I am not sure? But I kept going. I decided to take over the family business after I graduated from college. I went to school, to the open house for a culinary program. I only applied to one school, and I wanted to go to the culinary program. But the tour I ended up on was a business 3-year honors program. What did I end up doing? The 3-year honors program, because I said, no matter what, I'll need business in my life. Where the hell did that come from? What was I, 16, 17-year-old? Did I come up with that myself? No matter what, I'm going to need business. I'm not sure that's something that all households say. But they said it in my house. Not that they were wrong. The way that I was brought up. Is that really what I want? Is that really, truly my destiny? Or is it a destiny that was projected on me? Fast forward to graduation. What did I do? Worked the entire time of my 3 years in college on the family business. How to do this? What's the best way to market? How to build the ground up business? And by the way, my dad will be right by my side. Hooray! Awesome! Exciting! Shit! My dad's right by my side, telling me what to do every step of the way. Yes? Wonderful. Crap. Following directions, following these unspoken obligations. Okay. Fast forward again. Our styles are different. The way that my father grew up was very different than the way I grew up. If you're not using these hands to work, you are not working. With the invention of social media and all things computery, sitting behind a computer, I remember my father walking up behind me and going, "What you doing?" I say, Working? He was like, how come you're not out there? Unspoken obligation to be busy, 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 busy. When we would go on vacations, it was amazing. But our phrase was, we need a vacation from the vacation when we get back. We are super blessed to be able to do all the things we did. Holy crap, I was a child that traveled all the way around the world by the time I was like 15. Blessings. But also obligations. Continuing on the journey of owning the family business, not knowing what I know now. I jumped in. I borrowed a heck of a ton of money. My parents supported me all along the way. They kept saying, are you sure this is what you want to do? And like I could ever say no. The second sentence is, we're not quitters. We don't give up. Great. That's awesome. So you mean to tell me if I tell you that I don't want to do this anymore, not only am I letting down the family legacy that I decided, and whatever brain juice that was, that I wanted to do that, but at the other hand, giving up what we've worked so hard for as a family because we don't give up. We're not quitters. Okay, awesome. Well, what about me? What if I changed my mind? What if I'm seeing clearer now than I've ever seen before? What if I'm stuck? How do I get out of that? Fast forward to now. I've owned the company for 15, 16 years. I'm realizing this shit's hard. I get so burnt out and so irritated, or whatever the words are, with myself, with all the things that I feel like maybe I'm doing wrong. And it's why? Because I'm not living my true self. I'm not living the life that I know I should be living. I have a freaking dream of owning a personal jet. No bullshit. Where the hell did that come from? It's not from my family. That's something that came from inside, and I can see it. I can see my jet. I can see myself traveling around the country with my 2 gorgeous daughters by my side and my husband in tow. I can see it. Where the hell did that come from? It didn't come from little old Burlington or my family, who knows what they know. There's nothing wrong with the life that I was dealt and the life and the way in which my family has raised me and my brothers and their family and their generations and the generations before that. Because you only can do what you can do. You only know what you know. But someone has to stand up and say, is there some unspoken obligations in here that I don't want to hold as my own? I'm standing up now, raising my hand and saying, this is enough. At what point do I actually get to fulfill my heart? So then when I don't go to work, I put my hands down on my head and say, what the hell am I doing? Is this my life? I find peace and solace with my beautiful daughters and my husband, taking those little tiny moments just to look in their faces and see them smile. To go and be whisked away to Disney and live a world that is not my own right now. Unspoken obligations. I'm diving into them more and more and more to find out which ones I think that I want to keep, because I think there's some good ones. Yeah, we shouldn't steal from each other. We shouldn't be mean to each other. We should all get along. I'm all for those. But when it comes to doing what we've been told to do, and we don't even realize it, those are the ones I have problems with. And I think that's all of us every single day. Whether you own your own family business, you've taken it over, whether you're a mother, a brother, whether you are the keystone in your family, someone who keeps everyone together. Do you have to? Is there a reason for that? If it's because it's what you truly want, I applaud you because you are living your truth. But if it's not, what the hell are you doing? We don't have that much here on this planet. Somebody said that you only have 18 years or 18 summers with your children. What the hell are you doing mucking around in things that are not what your heart truly wants? That's the journey I'm on right now. I need to find my heart and peel back those layers of these unspoken obligations that have been following me around for my whole life. I urge you to start peeling them away. The first step to figure out what those unspoken obligations are, is what do you cringe at doing? What do you have to muster yourself up to be able to do? What do you leave, or who do you leave the experience with and just want to cry? Those are the first ones to dive into. Those are the first ones, their first glimpses into what is not in alignment with yourself. And is it because somebody told you how to do it, or because it's morally what you need to do? Or is it because something that you truly, truly want to do? Comment below and let us know. What are the first signs that you know you're not on your right path? I would love to hear it. I know for me, sometimes it's seeing somebody's car and going, oh my God, no. That's a big one. That means I'm not in alignment with that person. Or when I walk into a place and I just feel heavy. Those are two of mine. What are two of yours? And as we continue on this amazing journey of unspoken obligations, we are going to dive into so many more areas of this. So you heard just a little bit of my history, of my journey to where I am right now. And there's lots and lots more to come. But stay tuned. I can't wait to see you on the next one. Thank you for listening to Unspoken Obligations with Kaitlyn Parker.